This would be massive. Bitcoin and XRP to wipe out America's national debt? Let's talk about it. There's a video floating around that shows on the screen, I think it's Newsmax. And the gentleman talks about how they're going to be using Bitcoin and has XRP on there, or using cryptocurrency specifically to wipe out the debt. The Russian parliament did a video talking about how America, they said they're sucking the national debt up into stablecoin. And they're going to use crypto to wipe out the debt. But let me break down how this is going to work, in my opinion. Do your own research. I've been working on this since 2020. It's freed my family financially because I'm focused on not emotion, facts, figures, numbers, logic. You have to understand what they are saying and why they're saying that. So here's how this could happen. Number one is I don't think XRP is going to be used to wipe out the national debt. XRP is a bridge currency, but they will have things like XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, and a sovereign wealth fund. And they are creating a Bitcoin strategic reserve. And at the end, I'm going to get to how this will benefit you and how it's benefit me. So here's what is happening. You can save this video and come back to it. I told you guys a black swan was coming, 10/10/2025. Boom, what happened? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen by 2030. Save this video, please. They are creating a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Now, why would they do that? Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million. And if they were able to buy 1 million Bitcoin, which would be 5% of the supply of Bitcoin, by 20 years, they could shrink the balance sheet in half our debt. Now, how could that happen? I was saying as well that they're probably going to revalue gold on an accounting measure on the balance sheet. And they're going to take the profit of the revalued gold and buy Bitcoin with it because they said they're going to do it in a budget neutral way. And Cynthia Loomis just said the exact same thing. She said if they take the paper gold in 1974 that's undervalued, they revalue it to today's prices, they can take that profit counting measure and buy Bitcoin with it. Now, if they buy 5% of the supply of Bitcoin, it grows 50% every year. The balance sheet for America would be growing dramatically, outgrowing the debt problem. So with the public and private sector coming together, GDP growth, having these digital assets, this is really important. This is how I do my investments that have fixed supply that are deflationary. They could start paying off the national debt in the next 20 years. This was the plan all along, guys. JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon told you that cryptocurrency used for money laundering, that it's a fraud. And by the end of the year, they just announced that you can use Bitcoin as collateral to get a loan. So that's not even logical. CEO says it's used for money laundering and you're a criminal. Criminals use it, but they're going to let us use it to get a leverage back loan. So you're going to let us use something that's used for criminals and money laundering, but you're going to let us leverage loan? That doesn't make any sense. Use logic, guys, not emotion. Get out of the get rich quick hype. But here's what's going to happen. They're going to create the Bitcoin strategic reserve. They're going to buy it Bitcoin with a budget neutral way. They're going to work to get to 1 million Bitcoin, 5% of the supply, 95% of the supply is gone, 5% is left. America will own the most Bitcoin out of any country. Everybody will be trying to catch up. They created a stablecoin, the Genius Act, stablecoin. It's genius. The Stablecoin Act, uses treasuries, US treasuries, which the bond market was collapsing, to balance it out 1-to-1, stable. So Scott Bessent, Donald Trump, trumped everybody. They created the Stablecoin Act. Trump has USD1 through World Liberty Financial, the fastest growing stablecoin. Bo Hines stepped down. I've been teaching you guys the game. Bo Hines steps down from the executive director for digital assets and goes and brings Tether into America. Tether controls 90% of the stablecoin market. Now we have USAT. So in America now we have the number one stablecoin, 90% of the stablecoin market, USAT, USA Tether. You have USD1, which Trump, through World Liberty Financial, is the fastest growing stablecoin in the world. So that's how they're going to do it. They're going to suck the national debt into cryptocurrency. They're rebalancing the balance sheet through profit and paying it off. They're going to use stablecoins to stabilize the dollar. Trump told you you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily 7 years ago in his last presidency, and then he had 4 years to mull it over and build the Avengers to come in financially. Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, Bo Hines, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. Do your research, stop believing hype and bullshit. This has been planned for a long time. And those who remain non-emotional and understand the picks and shovels and invest and can manage through the volatility, stop believing the hype that it's just going to continue to go straight up in these super cycles. There's always cycles, guys. This isn't different. It may not be a big collapse. That's what everybody said. Then I told you, Black Swan is coming, 10/10/2025. Everybody was panicking and we're super calm in our Warrior Academy. I'm like, I told you. Because that's how it works. Everything cycles. This is nothing different. Just a different technology. It's just different money. And your emotions are their profit. So here's what I do. It's called Capital DR. I use my cash flow from businesses and cash generating dividends, passive income through dividends. I transmute it into deflationary assets that have fixed supply. Hence Bitcoin 21 million, XRP 100 billion. It's deflationary based on its utility because it burns every single time a transaction goes across it. Just a little bit, but it's deflationary. Opposite of the US dollar, Bitcoin's opposite of the US dollar. So eventually over time, my assets are going to continue to grow over time. So it's Capital DR, cash flow into appreciating assets. We're going to move Bitcoin into leverage, which is L in Capital DR. When my assets appreciate, I move them into protection, cash value life insurance. The reason why the industry gets a bad rap is people are setting this up incorrectly. They're not funding them. They need cash in them. They're cash value life insurance. And they're not retirement policies. Everybody's selling them as retirement policies. They're cash value life insurance. Because of a tax code 7702 that was created, 7702A that was created in 1913, you can borrow against them tax-free. So I take some of my profits and I insure my money. You insure your house, your car, your family, your life. I insure my money. But that insured money, because of that tax code, I can borrow against it at 5%, crush the hurdle rate, inflation, and buy a dividend that's paying 20%, pay the loan back off, and now I have free cash flow. That's called richest man in Babylon. Money is currency. It needs to move. Then we have L, which is leverage, which I just explained. And DR, de-risk, 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 de-risk. There is no get rich quick. There's a large amount of returns, de-risk as fast as possible. When you're in profits, take profits. Don't be a rubbernecker watching it go up and down because you're gonna get wrecked. So all these people selling you that it's this big super cycle, that it's just gonna keep going up, they're wrong. That's why there's a bull and a bear. There will always be a bear market. When euphoria kicks in, you will think it will keep going up forever. It will always come back down. There will always be another opportunity to buy. And it will go back up. If you believe what you hold and you get caught sliding down the back end, just ride it down and buy more. If it's shooting up through the roof, don't be greedy. You're not going to catch a top. You're not that good. Nor am I, because we're not controlling these markets. They are. Remember, you're the exit liquidity. So build a plan. Stop following get rich quick hype meme coin bullshit. Build structure, build systems, build process. The masculine side of money needs systems, processes, and structure. The divine feminine part of money needs fluidity, protection, and safety. That's the richest man in Babylon. That's the system we created. So I hope this information reaches your heart well. They're giving you the damn blueprint. I just saw it in 2020, and I can't believe that we actually got it right by 2025. Back then, I see how you could call me crazy, but everything I said is now true. And you're gonna call me crazy the next 5 years, and you're gonna see in 2030, everything I just said will come true. So save this, come back to this, just like you came back to my videos in 2020. I love you guys. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. God bless you.